Full time here at the Etihad Stadium, Manchester City 2, Wolves 0. Man City are celebrating their first Premier League victory of 2026 and have responded to recent setbacks against rivals Man United and Bodo Glimt. It's essentially a must-win game really for City in more ways than one. They really needed a morale-boosting victory, a response to those painful defeats really against Man United and Bodo Glimt recently, and also they needed a win to give themselves a bit of a chance now in the title race with Premier League leaders Arsenal, who entered this game 7 points ahead of Man City. With that in mind, Pep Guardiola made a total of 5 changes to his starting lineup for this game against Wolves, and the headline news was that both Erling Haaland and Phil Foden began this game on the bench after barren spells of form in the final third. New signing Mark Gay was handed his full debut in defence, and he looked pretty solid. He looked very calm, very composed in the back line for Pep Guardiola's side, so he impressed. And Matheus Nunes, Bernardo Silva, Omar Mamouche, and another new signing, Antoine Semenyo, also returned to the starting lineup for this one. Now, City made a bright start to this match, and they actually began with a sort of 4-2-2-2 setup with both Mamouche and Semenyo as the strikers, the front two with Cherki and Reinders playing a bit in behind, and it was Mamouche who, starting ahead of Erling Haaland up front in this one, who opened the scoring for City after just 6 minutes. Attacked a brilliant cross from Nunes, whipped into the danger zone, attacked that cross and poked it home from just a few yards out to open the scoring for City. That's his first Premier League goal for City this season, and his first, of course, since returning from the Africa Cup of Nations. After that, City dominated proceedings. They dominated the entire first half, really. The vast majority was inside Wolves' own half. City had a penalty appeal waved away by referee Farai Halam. He was making his Premier League debut as a referee. Wolves' defender Mosquera appeared to handle the ball, but the referee, after a lengthy VAR review at the pitch-side monitor, he felt that it wasn't intentional, and so City were a bit frustrated by that decision in the end. However, City did end the half with a deserved second goal on the stroke of half-time through Antoine Semenyo. A brilliant finish from him, a lethal finish. Great build-up play from City in the middle of the pitch. Bernardo Silva passes it to Semenyo. He takes one touch, a brilliant first touch to set himself, and a left-footed finish stroked into that bottom corner. That's his third goal for Man City in 4 games since joining from Bournemouth, and he's really impressed. He's really settled in nicely in Guardiola's side since joining. So another impressive performance here from him. Him and Marmouche linked up quite well in attack, actually, and looked sharp today. So it was a good first half for City. In the second half, Wolves decided to make a couple of changes. One of those was striker Jørgen Strands-Larsen. He came on to offer a different presence in the final third for them. And Wolves, they grew into the game, especially from the first 5 to 10 minutes onwards. They were a strong side. They were causing a few problems for City. City were a bit in second gear, and Wolves looked more dangerous going forward. They had 6 corners in the second half, and they just posed a greater threat. City were at times a little bit shaky at the back, and in response, Guardiola decided to bring on Foden, Haaland and Doku from the bench. They didn't really create and then didn't really have too much of an impact in the final 20 minutes when Wolves continued to push forward, and Semenyo actually had a shot that smacked the underside of the crossbar, a great chance for City to put the game to bed. But in the end, City dug deep, they held on, and they eventually saw out the game to claim an important win, an important 3 points for City, ending a 4-match winless run in the Premier League that included 3 draws and a defeat. They remain second, of course, but they've moved to within 4 points of Premier League leaders Arsenal, who come up against Man United at the Emirates on Sunday. So City will, of course, be hoping that Man United can actually do them a favour in this one, and Arsenal can drop points, whether it be a draw or a defeat, in that game on Sunday. Now, City's defeat to Bodo Glimt in the Champions League on Tuesday was a historic night, really, for all the wrong reasons for City. The performance was far from expected from City's fans. The big players didn't really turn up, and once again they looked vulnerable defensively as well. Bodo Glimt looked like they could score on almost every attack that they had. Here against Wolves, was it a perfect performance? No, but City ultimately did get the job done. They claimed an important win. That is the most important thing for City, that they managed to claim 3 points after the recent results, the recent performances. They just managed to get the job done. That was the priority for Pep Guardiola's side. They do need to improve in key areas still. At the back, they did look a little bit shaky at times against Wolves in the second half. And up front, it'd be great to see Erling Haaland when he comes back into the team, fit and firing, and just getting on that a regular scoring run again after he's had a few games now, or he's not more than a few games. He's actually not scored an open play goal in his last 9 games now in all competitions for City, so it'd be great to see him back firing for Guardiola's side. If they can work on things defensively, build some solid foundations now that they've got the arrival of Gay back as well. Núñez was fit again today after a few games out through illness. Nico O'Reilly and Ray Aït-Nouri are two good options at left back, and they could possibly rotate in that left back position. Kuzanov is gradually improving, a few shaky moments, but he's doing pretty solid at the moment, and hopefully he can learn a lot from Gay. Donnarumma's impressed a lot of games this season as well, so hopefully there's some solid foundation that they can hopefully build on at the back, and up front hopefully they can just provide more goals. The likes of Semenyo, hopefully Mamouche can get some more game time, Doku, Haaland of course. If these guys can be firing on a consistent basis as well as having that defensive solidity, you'd hopefully like to see City improve a lot in these coming weeks and months. So before Man City prepare for their next Premier League game away against Tottenham Hotspur next Sunday, City will turn their attention back to the Champions League and will come back here to the Etihad Stadium for a home game, an important home game against Galatasaray. This will be their final league phase fixture, and they could really do with claiming all 3 points to give themselves the best possible chance of securing automatic last 16 qualification.